Steaming Up the Mississippi is the 16th adventure of Lucky Luke, first published in 1961. Created by René Goscinny and Morris, the comic is based on a real event, a steamboat race which occurred in 1870 between the Robert E. Lee and the Natchez. In 1984, the comic was adapted into an episode of the first television series of Lucky Luke adaptations, produced by Hanna-Barbera. How faithful was this adaptation? Let's spot the differences. Lucky Luke is sightseeing in New Orleans, where he sees two steamboat captains arguing in a saloon. Luke saves Captain Barrow's life as he stops Captain Low River from shooting his rival. In the adaptation, the captains are arguing on their steamboats, the Asbestos Plower and the Daisy Belle, and our heroic cowboy saves Barrows from being crushed rather than shot. Low River challenges Barrows to a race up the Mississippi River, the fourth longest river in the world, from New Orleans to Minneapolis. Instead of proposing this to him in person, in the episode Low River sends a letter, which Luke reads to Barrows, which was incredibly pointless as the two captains were very much within earshot of each other at the time. Luke offers to accompany Barrows and help foil Low River should he try and sabotage the Daisy Belle. In the comic, it is the old captain who suggests to the cowboy he come too.
Ho hum, Minneapolis, here we come.
That night, Captain Low River and Slack, his one-eyed henchman, attempt to knock out Buster Bangs, the Daisy Belle's one-footed engineer, but they are thwarted twice by Bushwhack. This sequence does not happen in the comic, nor does the dumbest dog in the West appear in the original adventure. But, as with practically every Hanna-Barbera produced Lucky Luke episode, Rantanplan was added for extra comic relief. Also, Slack was only seen in one scene of the comic, and his name was Dynamite Harris.
Oh! Nice doggy!
Ow! Blast! That dog made me miss him, Captain. But you didn't miss me, barnacle brain.
Ned, the steamboat pilot, was not added to the adaptation. Thus Captain Barrows steers the steamboat himself. Furthermore, none of the black crew who sleepily carry cargo, pour coffee, and play banjos appear either. The presence of these non-Caucasian characters is the reason this comic was one of the very last in this Franco-Belgian series to be translated into English by the publishers Cinebook.
Ready for the race, Barris? Or would you rather give up now?
You'd do better to put all that hot air in your boilers!
Captain Low River hires Cards Devon to distract Bangs the Boiler Man by inviting him to abandon his post so the two can play poker. The plan works, for about 5 minutes. In the adaptation, Bangs is blindfolded by Card Sharkey, causing him to almost fall into the Mississippi. Bangs is once again saved by Bushwhack. The change to the sequence, being to get rid of the Daisy Belle's engineer, makes much more devious sense than to purely temporarily distract him. Though why hire a professional scoundrel to push Bangs into a hungry alligator when Low River's short-sighted sidekick surely could have done the job?
Ah, my money! Yay!
At Baton Rouge, Low River hires Ironhead Wilson to cause a ruckus on the Daisy Belle, and the big brute damages the steamboat's boiler, until Lucky Luke knocks him overboard due to his punches feeling like tickles to the Ironhead. The adaptation changed his name to Leadfoot, thus instead of headbutts, he kicks. Leadfoot doesn't make it to the boiler room. The Asbestos Plower runs aground after Leadfoot goes ashore. while in the original story, this happens between the sequences of the Mississippi River being too low and then being far too high.
Hands up!
It's not my hands you have to worry about, cowboy.
Lucky the Daisy Bell wasn't carrying scrap iron. I might have been hurt.
At Cairo, Illinois, Low River's next scheme is for a bomb to be planted on the Daisy Bell by Dynamite Harris. Luckily, Luke has suspicions upon the suspicious-looking character, finds the bomb bag, and returns it to Harris and Low River, who were about to toast their success at a local saloon. In an action more stupid than heroic, the cowboy, who has no idea when the ticking time bomb is set to explode, pretends he doesn't know what is inside the bag, and has a drink with the trembling villains. Once Luke leaves, Harris's reassurance that the cowboy was bluffing brings the house down. In the adaptation, once docked at St. Louis, Slack hides inside a bale of cotton and aims to put the bomb inside the Daisy Bell's boiler room. But before he lights the fuse, it is taken by Bushwhack, and the dog returns the bomb to the asbestos plower.
Old-timer, can you tell me the way to St. Louis?
Just follow the railroad. Now get off my land or I'll turn my dog loose.
At St. Louis, Low River hires Pistol Pete, a famous and feared assassin, to kill Lucky Luke. Our hero tricks the caricature of actor James Corbin into wasting all 6 of his bullets. In the adaptation, Low River hired Pistol Pete off-screen, and rather than board the Daisy Bell at St. Louis's port, the gunslinger had to row across the Mississippi and climb onto the steaming steamboat. Furthermore, the villain has acquired Pete's notorious shooting service not to get rid of Lucky Luke, but to shoot holes in the Daisy Bell's boiler. Luke allows Pete to empty his 6-shooter into the boiler, for the same reason he does in the comic. And to fix this issue, our hero shoots 6 more bullets into the same holes Pistol Pete made, plugging up the air leaks.
That is incredibly stupid.
I just love it when the passengers pet me. Makes me feel wanted.
The largest section of the comic not included into the adaptation is 4 pages. Knowing the Daisy Bell will be unable to overtake the asbestos plower, as they now need to pick up more fuel, Luke travels ahead by land, riding Jolly Jumper to Dubuque, Iowa, where he prevents Captain Low River from continuing on to the final port until the Daisy Bell reaches Dubuque, thus giving both steamboats a sporting chance, and giving Low River payback for all his schemes.
All passengers who wish to continue their journey better get out and push.
Before both steamboats depart for Minneapolis, Low River orders all passengers and non-essential crew to get off, so his steamboat will be much lighter, thus faster. Here there is a cameo in the comic by the umbrella-waving, short, pompous old man who kept complaining in a previous Lucky Luke adventure, Rails on the Prairie. Fearing the Daisy Bell's boiler may burst, Captain Barrows orders Bangs to stop stoking, and accepts defeat. Meanwhile, Low River ignores his engineer's warnings, resulting in the asbestos plower's boiler exploding. In the episode, it is Slack who causes the explosion, as he accidentally puts the bomb intended for blowing up the Daisy Bell into the plower's boiler. Fishing Low River out of the Mississippi, Barrows tries to suggest he and his rival continue to steam up and down the river together. But the black-bearded captain is adamant that the experience has made him sick of the sight of water. In the adaptation, Barrows just offers the boatless captain a lift back to Louisiana, but Low River still declines. In the comic, the Daisy Bell is given an award for being the fastest ship on the Mississippi. The adventure ends its usual way, with our hero disappearing into the sunset before he can be thanked and without saying goodbye, as Luke is eager to return to the Wild West. However, he does say goodbye to Captain Barrows in the episode, but not to Bushwhack.
I'm a poor, lonesome cowboy. I'm a long, long way from home.
Whoa! Is that blackface, dude?